So today I wanted to briefly talk about Kamen Rider Zero One Episode 3, so let's get started. So this episode primarily focuses on the aspect of human gears living inside of human society in the Zero One universe, and this episode kind of tackles that. We see that Arto is trying to get a contract for a human gear to work in a sushi shop, and we see that it's during a demonstration with Nijiro, the human gear. And Nijiro is currently making some sushi for the demonstration, and he's doing it inside of Sincere Sushi, and he actually makes Arto his own sushi, and we see that it actually tastes great from Arto's reaction. But when he tries to give the favorite or what the owner likes, his favorite sushi being squid, we see that he actually calls it disgusting and it doesn't have a soul. The whole kind of scene ends with the contract not falling through and kind of failing. Later on, we see that in the Hidden Intelligence building, that Arto gets given a new progress key by Izu being the shark progress key. And we see that Nijiro actually asks if a soul can become data. And it's because that if the owner wants a soul from him, then a soul should be installed into him so that he could operate at optimal level. We see that Izu kind of says that it can't happen, and Arto kind of requests Izu to research about Sincere Sushi. This kind of leads to them going back to Sincere Sushi for another demonstration, but this time Arto kind of tells the owner about what the research is, and the audience as well, that he was researching about, well, the owner. We see that the owner before actually mentored a bunch of people, and we see that they didn't actually inherit Sincere Sushi but moved on from it. And this kind of leads to him kind of saying that, and the owner kind of gives an explanation why, and that the souls of his pupils were kind of bent into frustration, and that's why they left. And Nijiro kind of tells him that his soul won't mend because he doesn't have one. And you see that Arto actually discovered something as well, in that the owner actually does a unique way of pressing a sushi called Tinter Sky's Sushi Press. And the technique itself actually makes the sushi fly, and we don't actually see the entire technique in a whole because we only see the flying part in the video. We see that Nidra actually managed to copy it from a video that one of his pupils actually showed of the Sincere Sky Sushi Press. And we see that Nijiro actually copies it and manages to do it flawlessly on his first try. After making the sushi, we see that Nijiro actually manages to figure something out about the owner and why he actually uses this technique, in that it carries his sincerity. And we see that when the owner actually tastes it, and it actually tastes good for him, and he doesn't call it disgusting, but it looks like it still has some technique issues, so the owner actually asks Nijiro to make at least 10,000 more times, and Nijiro accepts. We see that Arto smiles, and Izu kind of tells him that, "Why are you smiling? The owner looks angry and he doesn't look happy." And we see that Arto kind of explains that people aren't that simple. This kind of leads to the second plot of this episode, and what the preview actually showed us of this episode being the shark progress in its new form. The second plot of this episode focuses on Yua and her new rider form. So you actually visited the Sincere Sushi before with Arto, and kind of showed them a new kind of trick with the human gear, that they can actually scan phones to know the order of the person. And she kind of tells Arto that coexisting with technology is the new way of life, and it's up to us humans of how we're supposed to live with it. And we see that this plays a big part in the episode as well. And we see later on that a new human gear is made and starts rampaging, or a monster I should say. And after the monster is actually created, we see that Fua actually appears in his rider form being Kamen Rider Vulcan and starts fighting. We see that Art also helps him with Zero One, and Yu actually goes to her men and actually helps them. During the fight, we see that both Arto and Yua, or Foa I should say, actually manages to beat the monster, but actually doesn't destroy it, but the monster gets away. We see that Arto, after realizing that the monster's gotten away, that he should get away himself, and actually jumps up. Foa, realizing that Zero One has gotten away, actually shoots him, but instead of shooting him down, actually manages to set Arto free. Later on, we see that the monster, the Humagear, actually does a massive kind of making Humagears into mooks, and this also includes Nijiro, which leads Arto, Izu, and the owner to be shocked by this and starts running away. We see that in an alleyway we see that Yu actually manages to save them, but in the process actually knocks Nijiro into the horde of mooks of the Humagear. We see, or Humagear turned mooks. Yua tells Arto that if you can back up the data of Nijiro, then he can be recovered, and she kind of tells Arto that human gears are nothing but that AI, and Arto kind of tells her that Human gears are partners that find harmony with humans and that they're not just tools. Yua tells them that they're just tools and then transforms. We see that her rider form is named Commander Valkyrie and it's similar to Fua's Commander Vulcan. While fighting, we see that Yona actually tells Arto that human gears they're not just tools and that she said it herself. It's all up to us humans on how we're going to live with human gears, and this makes Arto realize something, and we see that the main monster appears, and when he appears we see that Arto requests Izu to bring the owner to safety, and this leads to Arto transforming into Zero One. While in his Zero One form, he actually gets tangled up by the tentacles of the monster again, but this kind of leads Arto to bring out the Shark Progress Key and throw it up into the air and activate it. We see that Satellite Zia actually beams down something, and it's a shark version or a hologram of the shark, like the grasshopper from the first episode, and the shark actually jumps up and actually forms around the Zero One suit, and this leads to Arto's new form. With his new form, we see that Arto manages to finish the fight with an impact or a finishing move called Biting Impact and finishes the fight. We see with Yua that she actually manages to finish most of the moves on her own, and we see that Vulcan has also appeared and kind of tells her that you should have told me there were two. And we see that the episode kind of ends with Nijiro being restored and kind of practicing the Sincere Sky sushi press with the owner. And we see that the episode kind of ends here, but the episode actually ends with a cliffhanger with a new character being introduced with Yua, that she actually installed some spy software onto Nijiro, and this leads to her kind of discovering something, and well, Nijiro acting as a camera actually finds out of the Progress Key system or the Progress Key data that's actually stored in the Satellite Zia or in the Hidden Intelligence building, and that it wasn't lost during that accident before. And this kind of leads to the ending of the episode. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys